Okay. Problem 3. A meter on a sprinkler system showed that 83,740.6 gallons of water had been used during the entire year. How is this number written in expanded notation? Well, we've worked with expanded notation before. All that is when we separate our number using a place value chart. That's not so bad. I'm going to go ahead and make a place value chart. Since it does go into the 10,000s, I'm not going to make my place value chart here on the side. I'm actually going to make it up here on top, so I have enough room to have it kind of spread out. I know there's a decimal in it. I'm going to put my decimal first. Then I'm going to do my whole numbers. I can see I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 whole number place values. Means I need the ones place. I need the tens. What comes after the tens? Kylie, what would it be? Ones, tens,
Hundreds.
hundreds, and then after the hundreds would be what? Bella?
The thousands.
Thousands, very good. And after the thousands would be what? Christopher, what would be next? Ones, tens, hundreds, thousands.
Ten thousands.
10,000s. Very good. But I also need a decimal place value. Just one. Who can tell me what's that decimal place value? What's that very first decimal place value that I'm going to need? Kylie.
Tens.
Tens. So remember, my decimal place values, since they're smaller, I write them in lowercase. So I can remind myself, this is a decimal. I also told you all that anytime I have a place value chart, that place value chart has decimals on it. But there are certain things that I write on top of those decimal place values. Ezekiel, what should I write on top of those decimal place values? The first one has to do with money, a certain kind of coin. Do you remember what coin we write on top of the tenths, Ezekiel? Do you remember what it was, Ezekiel?
A six.
No, not a six. Not my question. So the tenths, on top of the tenths place, whenever I have that in my place value chart, I always write some extra things, extra reminders. One of the things I write on top of the tenths place is the name of a coin. Which coin, Ezekiel, do I need 10 of to make a dollar?
Dimes.
Dimes. I'm going to write dimes on top of my tenths place. That wasn't the only thing I write on top of the tenths place. Who remembers what was the other thing that I write on top of my tenths place? Kylie.
You write 0.1.
0.1. Very good. Both of those are very, very good reminders for me to have. I'm going to make sure my comma and my decimal are in the right place. Then I'm going to go ahead and copy my number. 8, 3, comma, 7, 4, 0, decimal 6. Now remember, the expanded notation just means that I'm going to break my numbers apart using the place values. So each place value gets its own spot. We always start in expanded notation with the biggest place value. Always. What number is in the biggest place value? Kylie, what number is in the biggest place value here?
Um, the 8.
The 8. And what place value is the 8 in?
10,000.
10,000. So I should have 8 times 10,000. Remember, I can always check the zeros by seeing how many I should have. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 zeros. 8, 8, 8, 8. They've all got the right digit. Times 10,000, times 10,000, times 10,000, times 10,000. Okay. So all of them are correct. Okay, make sure that you have your mic muted, sir. So I can't get rid of anything yet. Let's move to the next one. After the 8, what's the next biggest number, or the next biggest place value in this number? If the 8's in the biggest place value, what's in the second biggest place value? Bailey? What would it be, Bailey? The 8 is the biggest place value, but what's the next one?
Story was who was our story about? Don't tell me yet. Hey, I just want you to think about it.
So the next one is
Okay, but for now, everyone make sure you copy this file.
Look at the number here. Eight's the biggest place value. What's the next one?
1,000.
And what digit is in the 1,000s?
3.
So I need 3 times 1,000. 3 times 1,000. 3 times 1,000. 3 times 1,000. 3 times 100. I do that. Now we need the next one. Who can tell me after the 8 and after the 3, what's the next biggest place value, or the next biggest number, I should say?
Yes, I got correct.
What's the next one, Christopher? We had the 8, we had the 3.
7.
7, and what place value is the 7 in?
The hundreds.
100. So I need 7 times 100. 7 times 100. 7 times 100. 7 times 10. Okay, I'm getting closer. After the 7, what's the next biggest place value I have? Kylie?
The 40.
Okay.
The 4.
So the 4, and what place value is it in?
10.
10. So I need 4 times 10. 4 times 10, 4 times 10. Can't get rid of 1 yet. What's the next biggest number that I need to put in my expanded notation? Did the 8, 3, 7, the 4. What's next? Jada? What would be next? Only 2 spots left. Number would be next in my expanded notation. Very, very good, Jada. We skip the 0 in expanded notation, so we go to the 6. What place value is the 6 in, Jada? What place value is this? The tenths. It's got that snake ending. Tenths. Okay, and look at that reminder we always write. 0.1. So the last place value should be 6 times 0.1. Answer choice B has it. But look at answer choice A. 6 times 0.0. That isn't the tenths place, that's the hundredths place. And that number doesn't go to the hundredth. It only goes to the tenths. So my answer should have been B.